part of it. And it's not just how we work, it's how it's being grown, who's producing it, you know. And I think we'll see more and more in the next few years, some of these maybe bigger companies that got in it for money are not growing good product, and it doesn't get to market. And the guys who really care about the plant and want to produce good medicines, and maybe their focus isn't entirely all financial, they produce very effective medicines. And I think it's the same with doctors. You have to be innately interested in getting people better using plant-based medicine. And if that's your thing, then you'll do really well with it. But if your motivation is possibly not there, or you don't really you don't like the plant, or you're still following story, it probably won't work, you know. It's quite a subtle little relationship, but I'm noticing it more and more.
I think the relationship to the plant that we have, it develops as you use the medicines. It's like we've been estranged from a family member for a long time who used to tell us great stories, and every Christmas we'd go away and we'd have a new perspective and we'd be happier about moving into the next year. But then Uncle Cannabis got kicked out of the family because someone thought he did something wrong. He actually hadn't done anything wrong, but he hasn't been there for a long time, so we haven't heard his stories. And this is getting a little bit off medical topic, I suppose, but we haven't been listening to those stories. We haven't had anyone telling us those stories, or our body being told those stories. So when we start to put back in these medicines, which are derived from the plant, and the best type of medicines, it seems, are the ones that are derived from the whole plant, unadulterated, taken as they are from the plant. They work better than isolated components. Then our body's getting told a chemical story again. It's saying, this is how you're meant to be. This is how health is for you. Let's bring you back to that health. Let's elevate your systems again so that you can be healthy, because that's a natural state for you. I feel like in the West in particular, over the last 100 years, our health kind of diseases of the West, diseases of affluence, have brought our health down. And as our average level of health is too low, so all we're doing is taking people back to where their natural level of health is, wherever that may be. And that is determined by the cannabis system, endocannabinoid system, and we can stimulate that system with the plant. So you have to respect something or someone that can help you get back to where your health is. It's like if you're having a bad time and your friend says, "Are you okay?" That's what cannabis is doing to your body.
And I think too, the kind of relationship that probably humans, but nature, you know, this plant's an integral part of nature. We have an endocannabinoid system. Every vertebrate on the planet has an endocannabinoid system. Sea cucumbers have an endocannabinoid system. And if there's studies that have been done looking at the genetic variability of receptors and enzymes, etc., across species, and there's virtually none, which means that this system is millions of years old. And it was made very, what's the word I'm looking for? It didn't need to change.
We evolved together.
It evolved millions of years ago and was perfected, and now it's virtually the same across species on the planet. And there's a plant that's a potent medicine for it.
It works for dogs, it works for cats, it works for humans, works for birds.
So the story of the plant, Uncle Cannabis, is actually, you know, it's wrong, you know. And I read this other great article recently which was talking about the spirit of the plant, and how this guy really believes that it's kind of, you know, kind of got this earth spirit, and how it's been there throughout human history, and then the last sort of 80 years there's been prohibition. And he said, how clever is Uncle Cannabis, Auntie Cannabis, because she just hid as a recreational drug for a few decades. And now she's coming back and will medicine, fuel, construction materials, food, clothing, you know? Like,
right now on the planet, at this point now, there's more cannabis plants than there ever has been on the planet. And that's because humans are so intensively cultivating it. It's coming out of illegality and people are producing it en masse. And a really interesting little side story about cannabis is it has lots of terpenes. In fact, there's over 400 terpenes, or volatile aromatics, which are in the plant. There's potential for the cannabis plant to have any terpene from any other plant on the planet. So it may have, they've all got a different variety, but cannabis over its evolution has kind of collected terpenes, I think, from other plants and incorporated into its own genetics. And those terpenes have medical and clinical benefits. You know, myrcene is great for helping you sleep. Beta-caryophyllene is great for relieving inflammation and pain. And those are the sort of medications that are found in indica varieties of cannabis, which are probably the mainstay of medications that we use. So yeah, it's an amazing plant that's gathered all this genetic heritage, and now we're able to access this library of healing benefits. Yeah,
it's very exciting.